The law of assumption is all about assuming the feeling of your wish being fulfilled. It's not about hoping or wishing for things to happen, but about truly living in the feeling of already having what you desire. When you fully think this, your outer world begins to shift. It's all about aligning your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with what you want, and then acting as if it is already here. Let's take a moment to think about this. The universe doesn't care about the facts or what seems possible. It only cares about what you assume to be true. Your assumptions create your reality. What you believe deep down to be true, even if it doesn't make sense on the surface, is what shapes your life. The moment you start assuming the best, you begin to witness that same best unfolding before your eyes. If you're wondering how this works, it's all about perception. You see, the world outside of you is merely a reflection of your internal state. So, when you assume that you are already the person who has what you want, your external circumstances will change to match that assumption. It's not magic, it's a law. And just like any law, it works whether you are aware of it or not. You might be thinking, but what about all the struggles I've been through? How can I simply assume something different? Well, let me tell you this, your past doesn't dictate your future unless you allow it to. The moment you stop living in the past, you open the door for something new. By assuming that things will work out, that your desires are already fulfilled, you start to create a new reality. It's all in the power of your assumption. The key here is consistency. It's not about fleeting moments of belief, it's about living in the assumption day in and day out. You must become so deeply immersed in your assumption that it becomes as real to you as anything else. When you do this, your mind and body start to align with this new state of being. You start to notice that your external reality shifts without effort. Things that once felt impossible begin to unfold effortlessly. It's important to understand that your assumptions are not just thoughts. They're the feelings and beliefs you carry with you every moment of every day. If you assume you are worthy, then everything around you will begin to reflect that. If you assume you are capable, you will start to see opportunities show up in your life. If you assume abundance, abundance will flow to you in ways you never expected. It's all about embodying the feeling of your wish being fulfilled. But how do you get there? How do you begin to assume your desires? The first step is to let go of doubt and disbelief. These two are your biggest obstacles. Every time you doubt your assumption, you reinforce the opposite. The moment you let go of doubt and trust in your assumption, you unlock the power of creation. Trust that the law of assumption works and that it will bring to you exactly what you've assumed. You don't have to understand all the hows and whys of the universe. All you need to do is assume and feel it in your bones. This is how you begin to transform your life. Whether it's wealth, health, relationships, or any other desire, the law of assumption can work for you. It's not selective. It's universal. Let's take a closer look at a real-life example. Imagine you've always wanted a promotion at work, but for years, you've been passed over. If you keep assuming that this will never happen, it won't. However, if you start assuming that you are the perfect fit for the role and already possess the qualities of someone in that position, the universe will begin to reflect that assumption back to you. Suddenly, opportunities will arise, doors will open, and your new reality will begin to unfold. It's the same for anything you desire. If you want better health, assume that your body is already in perfect health. If you want a loving relationship, assume that you are already loved and deserving of that love. Don't wait for external circumstances to change before you start assuming what you want. That's where most people get stuck. They think they need to see evidence before they can believe. But with the law of assumption, it's the exact opposite. You must believe first, and the evidence will follow. This law is not just a tool for material desires. It's also incredibly powerful when it comes to your self-worth and personal growth. If you want to grow in confidence, assume that you already are confident. If you want to feel more at peace, assume that peace is already within you. The moment you assume it, it becomes part of your reality. The more you assume positive, empowering things about yourself, the more your reality will mirror that back to you. I know it may sound too simple to be true, but simplicity is often the most profound. The law of assumption doesn't require you to work hard or struggle. It requires you to trust. It requires you to fully embody the belief that what you want is already yours, and the world will align to give it to you. So, how do you start? The first thing is to start being mindful of your thoughts. Pay attention to the assumptions you are making throughout the day. When you start to truly grasp the law of assumption, you begin to understand that it's more than just a tool for manifesting desires. It's a lens through which you view the entire world. It shifts how you see yourself, how you see your future, and how you interact with others. The law of assumption goes beyond just material possessions. It influences your mindset, your habits, your relationships, and your overall perception of reality. It creates a new sense of self-awareness. The power of assumption is in its simplicity, but that's often what makes it so hard for many to truly accept. People often complicate their thoughts by analyzing how things might work or if they're deserving of what they want. However, once you understand the simplicity behind assuming that what you want is already yours, you stop doubting and begin aligning yourself with the energy that matches your desires. It's not about waiting for the right circumstances to manifest what you want. It's about assuming that everything aligns with the assumption you hold. The assumption doesn't need to be related to just tangible things. It's equally as powerful when you apply it to the quality of your life. When you start assuming good health, a fulfilling job, loving relationships, and a peaceful state of mind, the universe shifts to bring those things into your life. The idea is to stop reacting to external events and instead, actively shape them by assuming that everything is already working in your favor. You'll find that this assumption doesn't just bring material gains, but also shifts how you respond to life's challenges. When you assume the best outcome in every situation, challenges no longer become obstacles, they become opportunities. With the law of assumption, you stop fighting against life and start allowing it to unfold according to the assumption you've made. This is where many people fall short. They try to force the outcome instead of letting it naturally flow. The key here is relaxation and trust. You must relax knowing that the assumption you've made is already true. Don't struggle against the process, just live in the assumption. The more relaxed you are in your assumption, the quicker and more easily it will manifest in your reality. When you truly understand the law of assumption, you stop waiting for things to change. You start assuming that the change is already here. The moment you shift your internal belief, your external reality follows suit. This doesn't happen overnight for everyone, but it does happen consistently as you practice living in the feeling of your wish being fulfilled. Are you assuming that everything is working out for you, or are you assuming that things are tough? Are you assuming that you are deserving of your desires, or are you assuming that they are out of reach? The second thing is to practice feeling the emotions of your wish fulfilled. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the excitement of having what you want right now. It's not enough to just think about your desires, you must also feel them deeply. This is the key to making your assumption feel real to you. When you feel it, the universe starts to respond. I want to leave you with one final thought: the law of assumption is not about trying to force things to happen. It's about aligning with the truth that what you want is already yours. The moment you accept that your desires are already fulfilled, everything in your life will begin to shift in accordance with that truth. It's time to stop waiting for things to change and start assuming that they already have. So, take a moment today and assume that everything you want is already yours. Feel it, believe it, and watch as the world begins to reflect it back to you. The law of assumption works for everything. It always has, and it always will. You just need to trust it and make it a part of your daily life. Once you do, you'll find that your life begins to change in ways you never thought possible.